Okie dokie, we are in the climate folder. Climate is weeks 12 through 13. Your learning target, there's one. It says, describe characteristics, temperature and precipitation of different climates, zones as they're related to latitude, elevation, and proximity. How do you know you've been successful? When you submit your ecosystem Venn diagram, submit your climate quiz, and submit your bow tie forum. That's it. All right, let's get started. Right-click, open in a new tab. We've got the ecosystems. It says, in the next assignment, you'll be asked to submit a Venn diagram that compares 3 ecosystems. Excuse me, you will need to fill in the chart in a PowerPoint or make an original Venn diagram from pencil and paper. Take notes during the lesson so you'll have good information that you can add to your Venn diagram. Click here to get a copy of a Venn diagram template. So let's right-click, open a new tab. Whenever you have these sort of situations where you're getting a file, that file always lives here in the resource folder. So if you're confused as to where to find good stuff, this is where you find all the good files for each folder. Let's go over here. It says, let's find the Venn diagram. Got it. Okay. Pops open when you're in Mozilla. You will have to, all you'll have to do is enable editing. Click that. Okay, so you're going to learn about different ecosystems. I think you'll even learn about more than 3, but you pick your 3 favorite and you replace what's written here, backspace, with the name of that ecosystem. You type it in here and then it says sentence or phrase about number 3's weather conditions. So this type of ecosystem always has weather that's like this. Same thing over here. You fix it so it says the ecosystem that you're talking about and then have a sentence about the weather conditions in that ecosystem. Same thing for here. You put a sentence about this ecosystem. So you're going to pick 3 different types of ecosystems and write 3 sentences, one about each ecosystem. Here, you're going to write a sentence that tells me how these 2 ecosystems are similar. Right here, you're going to tell me a sentence about how these 2 ecosystems are similar. And then right here, you're going to tell me a sentence about how these 2 ecosystems are similar. This might be tricky, this might be confusing, let me know. And if it is, I can help you out. Finally, the middle sentence is how all 3 ecosystems are similar. And some of this is more obvious than you're thinking. You don't have to be a scientist to answer these or come up with sentences. I can help you if you have any issues. So keep this in mind as you're going through the assignments. All right, click next. Taking aim. What is an ecosystem? So you've got a video. It walks you through what an ecosystem is. I think it even gives you some examples. Next. You've got a study jams. I like study jams. It says, press play video to watch the video. And then there's also a test yourself button. I like you to go through the test yourself just because it's good review questions. Some of them are harder questions than I'll ask you, but let's say you try them out and you do well, you know you're prepared for whatever I'm going to ask you. And you can navigate in here like this. So you play the video and then navigate like this. Biomes, just so you know, is a synonym or a word that means the same thing as ecosystem. So that's why you're watching it. Once this gets all the way to the end, you are going to click close, and you can, if you want, you can test yourself. The directions don't say you have to, but that's up to you. Click next. Taking aim, 6 types of ecosystems. This is a student-made video that I liked a lot, and it kind of gives you a lot of good information that you can use on your Venn diagram. Period 3, that's cool. Click next. Once you're done, you've got an ecosystem website. So I'm giving you all these resources to find all kinds of information that tells about these different types of ecosystems. You need this information to fill in your Venn diagram. So however you want to learn about ecosystems, there's lots of ways you could do it. Click next. It says, now it's your time to take what you've learned and put it in the Venn diagram. You can download it here. You've already done that. You can go back, if you want to go back to the beginning and go, oof, I liked that video, I want to take better notes. This will take you back to the beginning of this lesson. This is if you've already taken great notes, you can click done. Moving on, let's go back to the list. We've got submit your ecosystem Venn diagram. Right click, open in a new tab. Please submit your ecosystem Venn diagram. Remember, you can find a template here. We already did that. You are allowed to make a paper and pencil Venn diagram if you want to. And you know how to add files to stuff like this. So you just add submission, find the file, click on it, and then save it. It'll send it to me. After that, you've got a textbook lesson. Right click, open in a new tab. Alright, an upcoming quiz. You will have a quiz covering all the climate standards. Please click here to find and download a climate study guide. What? This is in the resource folder, and I think we already have that open. Climate study guide right here. Let's look at it. Okay. Be patient. There it is. I would enable editing because you want to be able to type on here. You can copy these onto a piece of paper if you want to, or you could type on the screen. That's up to you. By the end of the folder, you should be able to identify the location of major climate zones, the polar climate zone, the tropical climate zone, the temperate climate zone. You should be able to describe temperature and precipitation in these different climate zones. Describe temperature and precipitation as it relates to latitude, how high up in the air you are. No, latitude, where you are on the map, basically. Describe how temperature and precipitation is related to elevation. Elevation is how high up you are on like a mountain or something. Describe how temperature and precipitation relate to the proximity to bodies of water. And so I took these standards and I broke them down into review questions. Not all of these review questions will be on the quiz. Some will be. If you answer all of these, you are more than prepared to take the quiz. What is the temperature like in the tropical climate zone? Click down here. As you go through the textbook lesson, put your answer. And the trick is you get to use this study guide on your quiz to take good notes. What is the precipitation like in the tropical climate zone? What is the temperature like in the temperate climate zone? What is the precipitation like? And so on and so on. If you answer these questions from the textbook, you will get a good grade on your quiz. Let's go back to the textbook lesson. Let's click next. If you've already logged in, you don't need to log in again. If you've not, you right-click right here, open in a new tab, and you log into the textbook. Remember, Student 5. Log in. This lets them know you're allowed to be in the textbook. Go back to the lesson. Click Next. This should open the textbook. You're going to click Unit 3, and then the play button next to Lesson 6. What factors affect climate? You're going to use this lesson to fill in that study guide, so take good notes. Pay close attention. There's only 8 slides. It tells you the topic of each slide, too. I don't know if you know that. Then you've got a question here at the bottom, so you're to keep track of this question, too. Where will you find the tropical climate zone? You click that, and you can type in the answer right here. Make sure you're careful, because this is worth a grade. Once you've turned in Unit 5 lessons, or Unit 3 Lesson 6, excuse me, you can watch a Bill Nye video. I love Bill Nye. Right-click, open in a new tab. It says if you do not log in, you can log in right here if you've not logged in already. Also, there's notes to be used. You can click right here on this picture and it'll take you to your resource folder, but we already have that open. Let's find it. Right here. Bill Nye Climate Note-Taking. There it is. Maximize, enable editing. You can take notes onto the screen, or you can take notes on your paper using this framework. These notes don't need to be turned in. I take notes because it helps me pay attention and it helps me know what the teacher wants me to do and wants me to learn. No one's grading these notes. So, but if at the end of the folder, if you turn in something that's low quality, the first question I'm going to ask is, did you take notes? Keep that in mind. So I would keep that open as I look at the Bill Nye video. Back to Bill Nye. Alright, so there's the notes. Here's where you log in, right here. right-click, open in a new tab. It's Safari Montage. So you put in your password that you used to get into Moodle. And then you log in. Once you're in, perfect. You can go back to the actual video is here. It's not once you log in, so don't worry about watching the video there. Click next. Here's the video. You want to watch it in Moodle, you don't want to watch it in the other tab. There's a pause button if you need to stop the video to watch or take notes. Here's the button you use to make it larger. If you need to get out of this view, you press escape. When you're done watching the video, click next. Your question says, why do the North and South Pole experience a cold climate? You type in your answer and you click submit. When you're done, you will go back to the list. And that's all for now. You'll have a new video from me right here in the Study Jams lesson. Remember, if you need help, you can email me, you can call me. There's lots of ways to get a hold of me from this lesson. Good luck.